pretty good. I do love a good Oktoberfest.
It's a little fest beer, Oktoberfest beer, called Arttoberfest because it's from Art History Brewing. I believe, I could be wrong, I believe Geneva, Illinois. I've had a lot of different...
It's like Switzerland?
And it's not going to tell me where it's from. Well, I'm sorry if people from art history are listening and I got that wrong.
I found it. Brewed and packed. I
yeah,
can't
Geneva.
fucking read it.
Yeah, I see it, Geneva.
Yeah, Geneva.
Right.
Geneva, Illinois.
I was explaining to you earlier how there's like two different styles, like Oktoberfest beer. You got like the Fest beer, which is a little bit lighter, and then the Marzen, which is like the very traditional. It's a little bit more malty, a little bit darker. I don't really like the Marzen, but I really like just like the Fest beer, yet they're like almost so, like they're so similar.
Yeah.
So I don't really know why.
I'm not a huge fan of the darker beers in general. Like, but I do like an occasional stout, and it's very like hit or miss with a stout. Like I feel like every time I have a stout, I either really like it or I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, no, I see that. Like, I mean, I'm kind of similar with that. Like, I'm still like, I'm very much into craft beer, and I'm still like working my way to like the darker stuff. Like, I mean, like I've had like darker IPAs and like I like a good Guinness and stuff like that. But I'm like,
I do like a good
working my way
Guinness.
to like the stouts and the barrel aged stuff.
Can you confirm is the Guinness better in Europe than it is here?
Yes, it is. Well, so I have.
Have you been to the Guinness brewery downtown?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
And it's solid. It doesn't give brewery though, which I don't like. It's like a nice restaurant almost.
Yeah, or like it's like a tourist thing.
Have you
almost. I haven't. No.
Yeah, it is a little bit more touristy. And like I've had like friends that are like born and raised in Ireland, and they were like you can get a good Guinness here, but like it's not the same.
Because do they make it there actually?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's going to be a little bit different because like
I mean,
they obviously
using different water
make it
at the very base level. I mean,
I went out to Colorado and went to the what is it? In Golden they have the Coors Brewery.
Yeah.
And I went to the brewery and I had the beer there, and like it's just a Coors, Coors Light. It definitely is better.
I've had the Budweiser from
the
Bud Light brewery in St. Louis, and like I got like just like a regular like Budweiser, and it was better. Like I'd never had at that point. I drank a lot of Bud Light. I'd never had a Budweiser, but we were there, and I was like, I'm gonna try the Budweiser, and I had it, and I was like, why haven't I been drinking these the whole time? This is so much better than Bud Light. And then I went home and I bought a pack of Budweiser, and I'm like, nah, it's not the same.
No, it's not. I felt that way because when I was there, I also got the like Coors Banquet, and it was actually like good. Like, it was very good. And here, like I do like it better than a Coors Light, but it's not the same.
Coors Banquet was the porch beer on this porch for the entire 2023. So we had
had a lot of those.
We had a Halloween party, right? And like a big Halloween party, like all 3 floors, backyard.
Yeah, I remember. I couldn't make it, but I remember you talking to me about it.
Yeah. Somebody left on this porch right by the door. They left a 24-pack of Coors Banquet, and I think they had drank one of them. But nobody in our house drank Coors Banquet. So we just sat out here, and then it just kind of became the thing where like we'd be out here like on the porch, and like we'd kind of like look over and be like, oh, it's because it was like cool out at that point in the year. It was like 45, 50 degrees. Like a nice like chilly Coors Banquet. Like it's not cold, but like it's already out here. Don't have to get up and go to the fridge. We'd crack them, and then like that just kind of happened throughout the whole year, and it got to the point where like they froze and unfroze, and like we were still out here, and we're like, it's a Coors Banquet.
Yeah, I mean it's not gonna get much worse.
Oh
it's like sitting out. All right. Well, should we get into things?
I don't really want to.
Yeah. Well, we should start. We finally picked a name.
We should introduce ourselves.
That's true. We should also introduce ourselves.
We should introduce ourselves and then the collective ourselves.
Yes.
Ourselves, I'm Drew.
I'm Jeremy.
The collective ourselves. Would you like to do the honors?
Yeah, it took us way too long, but we are Hawks off Melrose. Yeah.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
Nice and searchable.
Yeah, I needed something searchable.
Tell your friends, now that we have a name, now that you can tell them what to search.
And, people know what off Melrose means.
We should get like a Melrose Street sign hang up right here on the
that'd be so
railing
so
or something.
There's
a Melrose Street not that far from here. We could just go steal one.
We can just say it's
it wouldn't be the same Melrose, but
oh God, I should know this, but is it Melrose like Way? Is it Melrose Street?
I think it's Court. But there is a Melrose Court in Iowa City too. Because there's Melrose Ave is the main one. Then you have Melrose Circle, Melrose Court, Melrose Street, Melrose Drive, like all those like offshoot Melroses.
Only times I was there, I was really drunk. I wasn't really paying attention to what the street name.
I only know because we used to park on one of them when I was a kid. I think it was Circle or something. I don't remember.
Look it up.
I do know somebody who lives on Melrose in Iowa City though. Maybe we could get him to steal a.
Yeah,
And
and I feel like we
an
need like
authentic
a
one.
Yeah, I need an authentic one. Like no one will really know. But
Yeah, if the
for
city of
us,
Iowa
it'll
City
feel
is missing a Melrose street sign and then we suddenly have one, don't worry, we got ours from Chicago. The city of Chicago is missing one, we got it from Iowa City.
Dude, I will say, to go off on a little story here about signs. To my first, literally like my first like few days in Iowa City freshman year, you know, we're in the dorm rooms partying, and you know, long story short, we have the cops in our dorm room, and
Yours specifically?
it was one of my friends.
Okay.
It was one of my friends. Cops were called on us because of my friends were smoking weed, and it was obviously is it still illegal in Iowa?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
they're smoking weed, and we got the cops called on us. And just to be assholes, the cops were kind of just like, on their way out, they were just like, what sign is that? And it was like a sign from Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, it was like from my hometown. And they're like, where'd you get that? And we're just like, I don't know, like, just have it. And they're just like, yeah, we're going to have to take that. Like, that's illegal.
That's crazy.
And they took it.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, they're just trying to be assholes at that point.
Yes, that's just
Like,
trying to be assholes. Was it D'Annunzio that had the giant road construction sign in his basement?
that would make sense.
I think it was in our fiction filmmaking class. It was like in the shot of one of his films. It was in the basement.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him where he got it, and he was like, "Yeah, my roommate came home really drunk, and he was just carrying it. And was like, hey, can you help me get this inside?" And then I saw it in person, and it did not do it justice. It was way bigger than it looked on film.
And he's able just to carry that.
Yeah, because they lived across the river. They
What
lived
you
over
can do
by
when you're
Kinnick.
drunk is kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As you can tell, we're kind of vamping to not really get
Yeah, I
into
don't
the actual
want
game.
to talk about this. If this porch was higher, I'd consider jumping, but
Yeah, no, if you jump now, you
I
just
think
kind of hurt
that
yourself.
it'd just be worse.
Yeah, it'd just break a few things.
I'd just be injured and we'd still have lost.
As
that
y'all
brings us
know.
into our first bullet point where I wrote ISU recap, just fucking kill me.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt.
Yeah. I think that's how everybody felt.
And like how I just put right under it, 16-13 loss.
Yep.
Just that's all you need to know.
Yep.
I don't even know where to start.
I think that we started our second bullet point, the biggest takeaway from the season and the worst part of the game. Announced today, Ostrenga not out for the game, out for the season.
Yep.
Achilles injury, done for the year.
Yeah, and that is our second time in 3 years that our starting tight
Yep.
end is out for the year.
And not even our starting tight end, because 3 years ago we lost, what's his name, that Michigan transfer too.
Oh, Eric All.
We lost all on top of.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And obviously Iowa is tight end U's, and we can't keep being tight end U if all of our tight ends keep getting injured. And I think they did miss him because like
Oh, they absolutely missed him because
mean-
we'll get into the passing in a minute, but like there were so many like the receivers had trouble getting open, and when the receivers cannot get open, you need that tight end for your checkdowns.
yeah. And
Because I mean, we're down to I've been shouting out Hayden Large the whole podcast, but kind of as a bit. He's not a tight end by nature, and he's now our second string tight end. I mean, I think he's totally capable of playing the position, but I think it's just kind of crazy that the tight end university has a guy like our second tight end in there is not like a tight end recruit at this point.
yeah, I know we have a few guys coming in that are like higher tight end recruits, but those
And
guys are going to take a few
yeah,
years.
and like Hayden obviously has the experience to be in there over those guys. It's just I don't know. It's just a point.
That's just like that's going to be a huge loss for obviously a team that, as we all very well know, is
Ostrenga
struggling to throw the ball right now.
Ostrenga is a good tight end, like definitely NFL prospect. I don't know. Maybe he'll take the year and come back, but I don't think he's going to have a lot of success in the NFL if he doesn't. I don't think he's on a draft board at this point if he just goes into the combine. Like I think he would have to come back to get drafted.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be smart for him to just come back. I mean, this was his year to prove it.
Yeah, and
So
he's got to do that again now.
yeah,
Gronowski looked better. Let's start there.
He did.
He looked better. He looked a little more comfortable. He was making a lot more of his throws. His catchable percentage 95.2. Like the throws were there. The throws were better. The problem is the throws didn't happen sometimes when they should have happened. There were a couple spots where people were open and he didn't make the pass. Not always his fault. A lot of times he was flushed out of the pocket, couldn't see him, couldn't throw across his body. But it really comes down to nobody could get open.
Yeah.
It almost felt like more of a wide receiver issue this week than it was a Gronowski issue.
Last week or 2 weeks ago, you could kind of tell like he just like almost was uncertain in himself to throw the ball.
Yes.
Where this past game, it did feel like it was like no one was open, and then he had to like run it pretty much, or just had to throw it away.
I see on Twitter so often the sentiment of like, oh, like people are hyped about the wide receivers, and it's like they're hyped about the wide receivers because they're who we have to be hyped about. But like you start taking our wide receivers and you comparing them 1-to-1 to other guys on other schools that are going to be competing for a playoff spot. They just don't measure up 1-to-1 like I think a lot of people feel like they should.
I mean, pretty much our number one wide receiver with the most like receptions and stuff the past 2 years is Gill, and he was number 2, number 3 on Northwestern.
At Northwestern, yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a Big Ten wide receiver, but on a lower tier team,
the most quality receiver we have is Seth Anderson at this point.
Yes,
who's proved it at least, and like even he's struggling.
That's the thing. Yeah, I think he's a number 2.
Yeah,
but if he's getting covered by the other team's number 1 cornerback, he's struggling.
I think we're going to talk more about later where I think a lot of this loss falls to Ferentz and Ferentz's play style. Because Ferentz's play style, you have to recruit such a specific way. It's so hard to talk to a good skill position player in high school and be like, hey, look at this Iowa offense. We want you to come play for this. Like, kids just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
If you're a good receiver, you want to go somewhere where you can show off your receiver skills, not somewhere that's going to play this conservative brand of football where it is number 1 rule, don't turn the ball over. Yeah. And that's more important than scoring points. And, like, I get that it worked for 25 years. But, like, the sport is evolving to a point where I don't think it's going to work anymore. And I think NIL is a big part of that because you can't get guys to come and play for an offense like that anymore. You just can't.
I agree. I mean, I don't even know how to get into that yet, but, like, I think Iowa State just out-Iowa'd Iowa.
Correct.
Like, they ran it down our throats. They, defense actually played, the defense played pretty well, I think.
The defense played pretty well.
The cornerback specifically stepped up.
Yes.
It's just kind of the rest didn't.
I saw a tweet, I think it was Hassel, on that fourth quarter drive at the end where Iowa State kicked that field goal to put them ahead. On that fluke pass that got deflected got caught for like 40 yards. That's something that would have happened to Iowa in the past 10 years. Because it was just the way that Iowa played football was you play conservative and you get a little lucky. And that's what we're at the point where we can't do that anymore. And that's, exactly. Iowa State out Iowa. Yeah. And I think that play comes down to it. We're yes, that's luck, but they put themselves in the position to be lucky, whereas we did not.
I mean, that last drive in the fourth quarter for Iowa State, 13 plays, 55-yard drive, lasted 6 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Kicked the field goal with under 2 minutes left. Mm-hmm. They just did exactly what Iowa does to everyone else.
Yes.
And it just backfired. And you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but they're losing some way too often recently.
Agreed. It's going back to, I talked about last week, that 2019 game where, kind of just fisticuffs, knockdown, drag out. In the end of the game, we punted and they run into their own guy, turn over the ball, we win the game.
We should have.
That was the tip this year. This year, it was just a parallel play where it was just a dumb, lucky happenstance, but it's because they put themselves in the position to win and we did not.
Yeah, and kind of going off that, right out of that, I forget how do we get the ball out of half? Did they just punt it away?
Yeah, they just punted.
Okay,
yeah.
I know we played a really good defense, got the ball back, had the momentum after I think we scored a touchdown going into half. And we looked great. 16 plays, 85 yards. And we were running the ball well, and, just getting the yardage we needed to get. And we settled for a field goal.
Yeah.
And that's just so Iowa. It was 4th and 2.
Yes.
But we have a big QB.
We do.
We could get those 2 yards.
Yeah, I agree. We should have gone for it there. I think there's also an argument to be made at the very beginning of the game when we had that 4th down early inside. There was an argument to be made to go for it there. I think that one makes more sense to get the field goal at that point in the game.
Yes.
I know football now is all about the analytics this, the analytics that.
Yeah.
The analytics did say that it gave us only a 1% better chance to win to go for it on 4th down there than to kick the field goal. Kirk Ferentz is never going to be the guy to go for it on 1%.
Ferentz did say, he says he's happy with his decision to kick that field goal, even after watching film and kind of looking at the situation. And
Yeah.
I do get it, because it's like we can nitpick these different things and being like, oh, like, at the end of the day, like if they
hindsight's
won,
2020.
yeah, hindsight's 2020. But even in the moment, I was like, dude, we looked so good. And I even said it to like the people I was with. I was like, this is going to be so Iowa. They're going to look really good on this drive, and they're going to either get a field goal, miss the field goal, or like turn the ball over. I mean, they don't really turn the ball over, but like either kick the field goal, like they're not getting in the end zone. And that's exactly what happened. And I just feel like it killed the momentum a little bit.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, the game got tied, but I don't know. Like,
the same sort of deal. Like, we were at the bar watching, and it was like me and one of the guys, big Iowa football fans. The other guy, casual Iowa football fan. And then we were with a lot of girls who just like didn't really care about football, Yeah. And it's a great example where they even at like there was that point where like even they were into the game, and then Iowa did the Iowa thing, and everybody lost interest because it was just like it just became such a slog.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking to people that were just like how do you how do you watch this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, we've gotten used to it. Like, it's it's
how do I watch
football.
this?
You love it, but you also hate it.
I watch this because my mental sanity and happiness teeters on it, not because I enjoy it.
Yeah. No, I was literally explaining to Clodagh, my girlfriend. I was like, literally was going to the fourth, and it was tied. I'm just like, if like chances are like Iowa State scores first, like I was just like, it's going, like, it is 13-13.
Yes.
It will end 16-13, I promise
Yes.
you. Like, it's going to end
or
with
15-13.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're going to, like, the next score wins, and we were just starting the fourth quarter. I was like, it's just, that's how, like, it's played. And, like, yes, we've had a lot of great victories over the years, but I was going to wait to bring this up, but 0-10 versus ranked opponents since 2021. 0-10.
But not shocking.
It's just not working anymore. It's not.
Wait, that can't. Since after beating Penn State, 2021.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our last one.
Yeah.
Is Penn State, which is an amazing game.
Well, yeah, one of my favorite games of all time.
Yes.
Phenomenal. A great example. Phenomenal moment in Hawkeye history. A game that what was that game, like 10-10 when we scored that game-winning touchdown or something? Maybe even less. And it's just an example of, in the past, we could pull those things out, and just every year I lose our confidence to do that sort of thing.
Especially against, like, I know Iowa State was ranked, but they're a rival, and we could have won that game.
Them.
Like, we should beat them.
I still feel strongly. I thought going into that game, there's a chance we go in there and they show us how good they are, and I go, okay, we just really didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
I honestly feel worse after that game because we should have beat them, because they're not as drastically better than us as I thought they could have been.
Honestly, at the end of the day, it's like they had a better QB.
Correct. And
like, that's what it came down to. Like,
it was such a winnable game.
Yes.
And again, we talked about it last week, just going back to the history of the program. When you have a winnable game against a program like that, you should just win the game.
Yes.
It's almost an expectation.
And, like, again, like, they're ranked. They had a good year last year.
Yeah, not to shit on Iowa State.
Like,
I think they're going to have a very good year.
Yes.
I think they're probably going to make the playoff.
Yeah.
Which is going to fucking suck that they made a playoff. I put it in quotes because if we had the 12-team playoff for the past 15 years, we'd have gone 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, let's get that very clear, first of all. It's still, with an asterisk on the stat sheet, they're going to make a playoff before we do, and that sucks.
I mean, if they were in our conference, they would not.
That's another thing. Not to get into that, but I think if I was in the Big 12, it's almost a downside of being in these power conferences with the way that realignment is shaping up, where it is like, if you are not a top team in these power conferences, you do just get screwed a little bit, where your path to the playoff is so much harder.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, I'd rather go that route. I mean, I know Iowa kind of had that route for a while when they were in
the West.
Yeah. But, like, you still had, every year would play, like, you'd still play teams in the East, like, and you still had to deal with those losses or deal with those wins and deal with those games. I mean,
I do wish the East and the West was a little more balanced, but I did like the divisions. It was fun knowing most years that Wisconsin game was a huge game because that decided who was going to the championship.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the passing for a second. 3.5 yards per attempt. Not great. No. The accuracy we talked about, catchable 95%. On target percent was 76%. That's better. QB rating was a 44.3. Again, I said last week I really don't understand quarterback rating.
I know it's
half of what it was last week.
I know it's bad.
I know it's bad. And again, a lot of it comes down to the receivers. As much as I don't want to say that Gronowski was amazing and goddamn, why can't those receivers, like there was a little bit of, it's not all on the receivers, but like they just struggled to get open.
Yeah.
And I put in here, I miss Caleb Brown. And I know that I know how many problems we had with Caleb Brown outside of on the field. But it doesn't take away from the fact that Caleb Brown is probably the best talent that is put on an Iowa uniform, just from a pure athletic standpoint, excluding probably
offense.
Cooper DeJean.
That's what I was say.
In
On
10
offense,
years. The guy is just, and I know he's also playing for a nobody school now. I know it is a work ethic thing. I know people have talked about this when he was at Ohio State. He would fall asleep in meetings. He'd miss practices. I know that a lot of the grinding of gears with the coaching staff was a work ethic thing. I know that's why he had to transfer out. But I just think like you're Iowa. You're the school that is reputable for taking these players and turning them into like not good players, but not to sound cheesy, but good young men. So like take Caleb Brown, who is the best guy you've had on your roster in so long, and put a little extra effort into him and get him on the field. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely like a guy you can like he would go out there and make plays.
Flashes of brilliance.
Yeah, like just the athleticism, the skill. Like you could see every time, like every game, I'm like, how did this, like I felt like he had like 5 receptions a game, and I look back and it's like, all right, he only had like 2 or 3.
But he also didn't get a lot of playing time when he
wasn't
here.
Out there.
And I know that, again, I get it. I get why. I don't know. It's your job as a coach to turn a kid like that into on-field productivity, no matter, like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I
And maybe
agree.
he was so hard-headed it was just impossible. I wasn't in the locker room, but it's just going from that to what we have now is noticeable.
Yeah.
The one interesting thing to take away from this, the slow mesh, that was kind of fun.
So explain. I don't explain.
Okay, so the slow mesh is
I saw
Wake
like them
Forest used to
talking
run it a
about
lot.
it.
So it's those plays where Gronowski it's the RPO where Gronowski would take and put it in the running back, and they'd kind of walk forward together slowly.
Okay, yeah.
So
I really like that play. I mean, it works.
It's Wake Forest's OC when I think they got a new head coach and they just didn't retain him. Mm-hmm. So he's an analyst for Iowa now, and I guess they implemented it. It was like his play. Wake Forest would run it a lot.
No, I definitely like it.
I think it works really well for Gronowski, too, as a running quarterback.
Oh, 100%.
Because, you've got, like, a good running back there. Like, you can hand it off. You can run it. And especially with, like, what we talked about last week where it felt like he was just having trouble seeing the field and, like, making some of those decisions and being comfortable. I think it's a good play where it's, like, he has options,
No, I remember when they did, because I think they came out of, I don't think they did it in the first half.
No, they came out of half
with it. And I remember watching it, and I literally, like, audibly said to people, I'm just like, this is, like, what we need to do.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I love this play.
Yes.
Because, like, it's exactly what we need from, like, yes, a running quarterback in which we have. And I did not think that Ferentz would allow it.
Agreed.
So, like, I'm happy that, like, I know we were talking about earlier, like, how Ferentz kind of,
honestly, when's the last time you remember Ferentz allowing the option?
Yeah. That's true.
I'd love to see Gronowski get a true option where they let him roll out with a running back behind him. I'd love to see what he could do with that.
The running was fine depending on who had the ball.
My first point in here is it's hard to run when they don't have to defend the pass.
Yes.
Iowa State stacked the box the whole game, and I think that's very obvious. And it obviously is going to affect the stats coming out.
And kind of what I talked about last week about Patterson.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that can run forward and get yards.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what he did.
I think Williams did okay. 3.7 yards per attempt, 7 carries only for 26 yards.
Yeah.
Patterson came in more in the second half, I would say.
Yeah,
11
that's when their
for
offense actually looked. And I said that last week. I said, I don't understand why Patterson's like the third string.
Yes.
I don't get it.
5.5.
I don't get it.
5.5 yards per attempt. I will say, not to get into the too deep right now, but going into next week, Terrell Washington is listed as a starter again. And we have Xavier Williams or Patterson
and this is
backup again. And I think
it's exactly what happened last year with Caleb.
I agreed. Like if you have Xavier Williams in there as a starter or if you have Jazz in there as a starter, I can see arguments for both of those.
Yeah.
I just don't. And now I will say also Terrell started this week and he only had 5 carries. 5 carries for 6 yards. His hit at the line percent was 80%, which is atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, whoever's like listed as the starter, clearly, it's
it
just
doesn't
going to
mean
depend.
everything,
It's not going to mean everything, but it still just shows me that the coaching staff is like, all right, this is our guy to start the game, and I just I don't get it. I don't know, I don't know. I'm just more patting myself on the back. I was like, I think Patterson should be starting. He killed Iowa State last time, and he goes in there, and he looks very good.
Get it too if it's
5.5 yards per carry is a lot better than anyone else.
Yes, I would almost get it if Terrell was a junior or senior, and you think he could have a good season, and it's just you want to show him the confidence, put him there to start, even if he's not going to get most of the snaps. But he's a freshman. I think he's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah,
I think both Jazz and Williams look better at this point. So, not that I don't think we shouldn't play Washington, and also McNeil didn't get any carries this week. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too surprised about that.
He's true freshman up against a good opponent, ranked. I mean, rivalry game on the road. I'm not shocked about it, but I don't know. When nothing else was working, maybe it'd have been good to see what he could do.
As just going back to the athleticism thing.
Yes.
If you got these athletic guys and they're just you got 4 of them at running back, bring them out some of them out wide.
Yeah, honestly, you line up Washington out wide and you put Jazz in the backfield, and then Washington gets a few catches. Suddenly you've unlocked the jet sweep too, where you line them up out wide and you've got options now. They don't know what you're going to do with them.
I need Iowa to start doing the jet sweep. I need it. I need Wetchen to go around.
I think it'll be very interesting to see going into a fake opponent next week how the wide receivers get open and how Gronowski hits those throws. Because I think if you take Gronowski's improvement from the first week, being able to look more comfortable in the pocket and hit his throws, and you take a worse opponent that the receivers can get open against, it could really unlock this offense in a way that gives them confidence the rest of the year.
I'm hoping, because that's the second game. He did look better. Gronowski did look better, but under 100 yards in both games.
That's
his running was better, and he looked more comfortable in the pocket, but
no cramping. That was a plus.
Yeah, no camping. I was worried about that. I'm maybe
I was a little worried about
they're
that
not running him as much.
There was that
run more.
There was that scramble to the outside on the left at that one point where he took a pretty bad hit, and they line up, and you see him get up in the lineup there, and he's sitting there, and he's kind of wobbling on his feet a little, and they call the timeout, and you could tell that was a coach, I need a minute timeout.
Yeah, give me a second.
They went to commercial, and I was I would not be shocked to see Hank Brown run this third down when we come out of the break here, but.
Yeah.
To his credit, he came back, and I think he ran it the next play, and he looked fine. I think it was a designed run.
I just have my people at work coming in just being I don't get you guys. You have, kind of what we were talking about last week. You have this, 2-time national champ in the FCS. He knows how to play football. Come in and he can't throw over 100 yards in Iowa's offense. And I'm I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I do. It comes back down to this Kirk Ferentz philosophy of the first priority is do not make a single mistake. And you know what'll make a guy really nervous is coming into his first start and being told the only thing you're not allowed to do is fuck up.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's just, you can get a new offensive coordinator. It's not going to matter. And that's a whole other thing with Ferentz.
I mean, I don't know.
I love Ferentz.
Kirk Ferentz. He's going to have a statue outside of Kinnick one day.
He deserves one. He deserves the world from Iowa fans because
Absolutely.
He took this this program could be shit.
It could be.
We'd never get the top recruits, never get great recruits.
Mm-hmm.
And they turned three-star players into NFL talent.
Mm-hmm.
And I will always be very thankful for him, but it might be getting to the time.
Yes. And I think there's also something to be said about being able to walk away with your head held high still.
Yes.
As opposed to, I don't want to say a world that you're not I don't think it's college football has moved past Kirk Ferentz. I do think if he's not going to learn to adapt, it might just be time.
Yes, I agree.
And I
think the way he coaches is still it's still a good way to coach. And when I say a good,
he's
the
still
way
a good coach,
yes.
I would say.
Yes.
There's just some parts about his philosophy that don't work anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not going to sit here and make any calls for his job or anything. he knows more about it than I do.
And
people in the program know more about it than I do, and I just hope that these are conversations they're having.
Yeah, like I don't think I will ever like. This might be reaching, but they could, beat UMass, but kind of not win the rest of the year, and I'm still never gonna call for his job. Like,
yeah,
he's done so much that it's.
I think it's
hard
fair
for
to say
me.
it's time.
Yes.
I just don't want him to be.
Like, I don't want to be like,
ousted
oh, like
in a
I hate him,
negative
like I want
fashion.
this guy gone.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be like, it's his time.
It's honestly the same way I felt about Fran. I really like Fran as a coach. I think he did great things for the program. He took that basketball program from the furthest depths of the gutter and turned them into a consistent tournament team. And I think that gets overlooked a lot, especially with some of the newer fans.
Yeah. And they didn't win the
Yeah.
tournament, but they would make it in tournament. Anything could happen.
Yes.
You lose quite a few in a row as a higher ranked team. It's obviously going to lose people their jobs, but at the same time, not saying
really
it's luck,
like,
but it could, any one game, any two games could change the outcome of how we look at how his tenure was.
And we won the Big Ten tournament in, what was that, 2021?
That sounds right.
God, that was a great shot.
That was an amazing
I watched,
shot.
going to that game really quick, that 2021, was that Indiana, right? It was the semifinal. Yeah. It wasn't the final, because the final was against Purdue. It was the semifinal. I watched the end of that game in the airport of Costa Rica, because we were going for my brother's senior trip for spring break, and I was like, our flight is at the same time as the semifinal game. I gotta watch this game. There was no internet on the flight, and we landed in the airport, and the first thing that I do is I get on that shoddy public Wi-Fi, and I'm sitting there, and we're going through customs, and I'm watching Iowa on my phone, and we're sitting in the little terminal of the Costa Rica airport, and Bohannon hits that shot, and I just start screaming, and people are looking at me, and I'm like, I can't even explain this. Nobody here I can't even if they walk over and they speak perfect English, I can't really. There's no way I can get across what's going on and why I'm excited about this random ass event. But I was so hyped.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was at Four Shadows. I was also with one of my best friends who's an Indiana fan.
Yeah,
it was such a good time. Just that game in general, but that shot was I just remember we were all going absolutely nuts.
It was so good.
I mean, this is a huge going off on a side note, but
very side. Yeah,
we have to do this when we lose to Iowa State.
That's true. We got to talk about the random highlights of our. Where I was going with that though was I do agree that it was probably time. There was a lot about what I heard where it was Goats kind of told Fran and his staff one thing and then came out and did another, and it's that was the part about it that I didn't love, and I don't want that to happen with Ferentz. You can't burn any bridges. Not that I think that necessarily Fran is a burned bridge. Yeah. I think his kids all played here, and I think he still is a big. Yeah. I think he'll support the program.
There's no way they can do that to Kirk.
Yeah. Plus, you got to have. I mean, Connor McCaffrey and Clayton Clark. Those kids got to play at Iowa.
Yeah, 100%.
They gotta.
100%.
I also my second hot take of the year. First hot take of the year, Drew Stevens gets drafted. Second hot take of the year is fucking Fran McCaffrey makes a Sweet 16 with Penn this year. I can just see it in the cards.
That would be,
and Iowa misses the tournament.
I just have to respect it.
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
Be like, you know what?
It's honestly the perfect place for him because he doesn't like NIL, but he's a phenomenal recruiter, and you can't. There's no NIL in Ivy League. You can't do it. You can't do NIL there. So it's the perfect place for him to land. I think he will run the Ivy League until he wants to retire.
Oh, I mean, I hope so. I mean, I'm all for him doing well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I definitely got frustrated with him with just some of the stuff, but.
Yeah, no, I have a friend who goes to Penn, and when they hired Fran, she was like, is he a good coach? And I was like, honestly, I think he's the best coach you could get at Penn. For being Penn, you couldn't get much better than Fran McCaffrey, to be honest.
Oh, I was kind of surprised he went to, on paper,
he
smaller.
There.
Yeah. I didn't even know the whole NIL
That was the
thing.
whole him playing in Philly. That's where the White Lightning story comes from. His nickname was White Lightning when he was playing street ball in Philadelphia.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
They called him White Lightning. It's just an insane nickname for Fran McCaffrey of all people. Okay, should we get back on topic?
Yeah.
Secondary looked better. We talked about that a little bit.
Yeah. I was surprised how they really didn't. They hit
great
a
pass
few
breakups.
Yeah. They hit a few longer throws, I think, but really nothing.
We have it here. So Brecht was 2 for 10 for over 10 yards.
Yeah.
And I think one of those must have been that tip too.
Yeah.
That absolute fluke. Like there was like TJ Hall had that really good breakup over the middle where it was like there was the one early in the game that I think probably could have been called for pass or PI. But that one in the second half that TJ Hall like right over the middle, that was just phenomenal defense.
Yeah,
like
that was
so
great.
Good.
They definitely looked better. They definitely surprised me because obviously I was like very much like, oh, they're the thing that's going to kill us if they don't step up, but they stepped up. And, kind of getting to the next thing you put here, the defensive linebackers, they struggled a little bit with the pressure.
Even including the corners, especially with the linebackers included, I think that the secondary it's definitely a step down from what it used to be. Yep. But I think I texted you during the game, and I was like, defense on the up. Like, they're definitely, like, they look more promising.
Yes, I do agree.
And then, the line and the linebackers, they're not tackling.
There was a few things I'm just like, this is not Iowa defense.
Yes.
Like that's like the one thing was like, the very good at tackling, very like,
Yeah, and they're not wrapping up.
They did have like quite a few, plays that I'm like, okay, that was a great like, very typical Iowa defense. Like there's like 4 people on them. They're not going anywhere. And some good tackles, but I can't think of anything specifically, but those just like quite a few runs where I'm just like, or like they had
and scrambles.
And so like they had back to like dead in the water, and they just like got away.
Yes.
I'm just like,
they're doing a decent job of shutting down the run game. They're not getting a lot of pressure on the passes, and they're not getting the sacks, obviously. And I think it does come down to like, as a unit, they look good as like one force. They're not letting a lot through them as like a unit.
I'd say a good, like that's a good offense that they held to 16 points.
I think what it comes down to is the individual tackling, where it's like they're not getting those sacks because like when they get them one-on-one, they can't make the tackles for some reason. And I don't know what that is.
Did they have any, what was like the tackle for loss and stuff? 3 tackles for loss and 0 registered sacks.
0 sacks? Okay.
Yeah, TJ Hall, 3 pass deflections, or passes defended. But yeah, I feel like you need more than 3 tackles for loss against.
Absolutely.
To win a game, to win that game. And overall, they as a whole unit, they played well.
Yeah,
they shut them down. But I agree. There's just certain plays. I mean, they, as you said, they were what was like the third down.
The third down. It felt like such a 50-50 game until you get to the big opportunities, and that is third down, fourth down. And we could not capitalize on any of those. It felt like every time on offense and defense, when there was a big down, when it came up Iowa State.
Yes.
And it felt like almost every other down came up about 50-50.
Yeah, like honestly, like throughout the game, like I hate to say this, but like I was kind of watching and I'm like, it didn't feel like it kind of felt like a game we were going to lose.
Yes.
And I think it's because of that. Like the game was always
close.
The
only time I felt like we could win this is that touchdown drive at the end of the first half.
Yes. And even like I was disappointed in the field goal kick, but we just shut them down. We had the 85-yard drive for the field goal, tied the game up. I felt good after that, but from then on, it just like I was like I just didn't.
On third down, Iowa State was 8 for 15 and Iowa was 5 for 14. So just again, offense and defense. It just comes down to those big moments.
And a lot of those
we could not capitalize.
And I feel like a lot of those were like in the fourth. I don't know what the stats are, but like they felt like they were like a lot of Iowa State's like conversions. I felt like were like
a lot of them were on that last drive.
Yeah, I think there's like 2 of them.
Even just going off of like something that's not really on the stat line, it also kind of felt like, I mean, again with the pass deflection and some of those bigger plays downfield. When it came to those big moments, we could not capitalize on those big moments. We had that one really nice look downfield to I don't remember who that was. We got the PI on it, but like if that was a little better pass. Like that's a catchable ball. Like that's an easily catchable ball. All my Iowa State friends were blowing up my phone after that, being like, "That was uncatchable. That shouldn't be PI." I disagree with that completely. Yeah, he got held. Like he clearly like he. Yeah, like his speed was slowed up. Had he allowed to have full speed, he could have easily caught that ball. Yeah. Like it was a decent throw, but
I agree.
Injuries besides Ostranga, which we already obviously know, Vanderzee and Moulton both no update from Ferentz this week. So
fun.
I think he said a few weeks on Moulton, and it was 6 weeks from the start of the season.
Yeah, Vanderzee's going to be a little bit. All right, on to the
more interesting games that I didn't watch because I was too mad about our game to watch them.
Yeah, I didn't really watch any of these other ones either. But kind of some of the notable games, notable upsets from like the AP Top 25. The big one to me is South Florida beating Florida. Beat
South
them
Florida's ranked now.
Are they actually?
Yeah, 18.
They okay. I swear,
It was a
if
huge jump.
Iowa beat even the number 13 team, they'd be in the 20s.
They'd
easily be in the 20s.
That was the craziest part to me. Let's see, were they even receiving? Oh, they were receiving votes last week. They received 25 votes last week.
Okay,
so they were like 7th out. Still, 18's a crazy jump.
Yeah, they beat Florida, who's number 13, 18-16. Florida was kind of projected to have a very good season. Was it DJ Lagways, their QB, kind of looking at maybe preseason All-American type Heisman. And I didn't watch much. I saw the highlights. We got another Spitgate in this game. 2 minutes 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
And
the first one was Eagles. Who did they play?
Eagles, Dallas.
Yeah,
because he spit at Dak.
Yeah, was that the Thursday night game, right?
Yeah, that was the first game.
Yeah, it was the opening game.
It was before the NFL season started.
Yeah, that's true. It was before the kickoff had happened. The kickoff had happened, but it was before the first snap.
They're giving him a 1-game suspension, but because technically it was the kickoff, but they technically didn't start.
So
his 1-game suspension was just that.
That's
game.
really funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that.
Also, if anybody didn't see the follow up, there's a second spitter. Dak spit first, apparently, not on him. Obviously,
he spit on the ground.
Yeah, he spit on the ground while making eye contact with him, and then it escalated. Honestly, phenomenal rage bait.
Oh yeah,
great play. That's a football IQ move right there. You get their best defensive player kicked out of the game before you take a snap. Props.
But yeah, so I guess in the Florida game, a Florida player spit on an South Florida player with 2 minutes left. They needed to get in field goal range. And it completely I didn't watch it, so I don't know how much it affected it, but it seemed like it affected the game pretty why are we spitting on folks? I think that's one of the most disrespectful shit you can do. Is spit on someone.
That reminds me of what was the game with the shoe? Where the guy where he threw the shoe. Yes. Okay. In 2020, Florida Gators cornerback Marco Wilson. So an LSU player's shoe came off on the tackle, and he picked up his shoe and he threw it into the stands. It gave him a unsportsmanlike penalty, and it kept the drive alive. It was 4th down or 3rd down or something, and they ended up losing the game because of it.
Dude, I don't understand some of how are you that dumb?
Yeah.
Spitting thing, that thing. How are you that dumb? Throwing their season away because they're spitting on folks. Come on.
Another
classy.
Quick side note to find this, I just Googled throw shoe college football. On the side here, there's a Wikipedia article for list of shoe throwing incidents, and the picture is the George Bush shoe throw.
That's a great article. Well, it's a Wikipedia page?
It's a Wikipedia page.
I love that.
There's a lot of shoe throwing incidents. Holy shit. 2010 and 11 was a big year for throwing shoes.
Yeah, I'd rather shoe be thrown at me than a metal can.
Well, if it's like a baseball cleat, those metal cleats, that could hurt though.
Yeah, that's true. Next one is Mississippi State beat number 12 Arizona State. I know Arizona State kind of had some aspirations for the playoff. I have no idea what their schedule looks like, so I don't know how much this destroys their season or not.
Damn, they're unranked now.
Yeah,
that was a big drop.
I feel like Mississippi State's not very good. They haven't been very good in a while.
That is a huge drop, though, from 12. Huge gain. Florida State's all the way up to 10, which is crazy.
I love that.
Going from, not receiving a single vote to 10. What a jump. Which, again, I said last week, the weeks 1 through 3 rankings don't mean a lot. They're going to fluctuate a lot. It's just that's such a big jump.
This is where Florida State started last year.
Alabama
number
back
10,
up to 19. Is it really where they started?
They started off number 10 last year, and then they went 2-10. Now
last season just didn't happen,
Yeah, they're right back where they belong. 18 Oklahoma beat number 15 Michigan. I saw Bryce Underwood did not do well. 9 for 24, only 142 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Somehow he had a worse completion percentage than McNamara and still twice as many yards.
You mean Gronowski?
Or yeah.
Hey, he played McNamara.
Sorry, it felt like McNamara was out there.
Where is he playing right now?
He's playing at East Tennessee. He had a bad game this week. That might be worth bringing up just a little bit.
How did he
win
a
Big Ten championship at Michigan? So yeah, he had a 65% completion percentage. He did have 231 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, I guess. But playing West Georgia at East Tennessee State, But there's what I wanted to bring up about this. What's crazy is what year was technically McNamara on the roster that next year after the championship when he got sat for J.J. McCarthy?
What year was that?
What year was McNamara? Because wasn't he technically listed as a senior that year?
Yes, because then he came to us as a grad.
So that year that McNamara got benched, he was listed as a senior and J.J. McCarthy took over. Then the next year, McNamara transfers to Iowa as a grad transfer. But I thought he somehow could have had 2 years of eligibility, but maybe it was just because he got hurt that first year that he came back.
Yeah, so maybe
then McCarthy won the playoff. Then McNamara comes back. J.J. McCarthy gets hurt, sits out a year for the Vikings. And now, just last night, J.J. McCarthy starts his first game in the NFL after being drafted 2 years ago and missing an entire year. And Cade McNamara is still taking snaps in college football. That's insane.
That is crazy. That's wild. And year,
J.J. McCarthy's sophomore year and Cade McNamara's senior year.
I forgot.
And one of them is now playing for the Vikings in his second year on the Vikings, and one of them is still playing college football. And
I forgot McNamara was on our team for 2 years.
Yeah, he was on. Yeah, he was there 2 years.
About that.
Yeah.
Oh, he played Tennessee in his first game. 11 for 18, 85 yards, a touchdown, 0 interceptions. Hey, good for him.
Not bad against Tennessee. Yeah.
Good for him. They lost 72-17 though. Dude, he must have been watching that like, I really want a Big Ten championship and my team's letting up 72 points right now.
Yeah. Okay, week 3, 2 deep, no major changes. The one we already talked about, running back. Washington's still starting. Yeah. And we still have Patterson or Xavier Williams.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy about that.
Starter.
The new starter, new tight end starter, as we talked about the injury, is Zach Ortworth.
Yeah, and then Hayden Large, obviously the 2. We have a 3 on here. DJ Vonda Mayhe or whatever, which is, I think he's a true freshman, is he not? No, redshirt freshman.
But the starter, Zach Ortworth, he is a, what is he? A junior, I believe?
He is a junior. Yeah.
Junior. He has 13 combined receptions over his 3 years.
Damn, he transferred from SLU. I didn't even know that. I've heard promising things about him. I think he's like.
I hope. I mean,
I don't think he's going to be a bad tight end.
No, I mean anyone who's going to be playing.
And I think people are pretty high on the DJ. I don't even really know how to say his last name, but like I know he's a pretty good prospect at tight end. So hey, maybe he gets a little early playing time. Maybe he develops earlier.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Look at
what is that photo? Is that a wrestling
photo? I just
photo?
brought up DJ Vonahee. Vanami, the third string tight end right now.
I think it's Vanamahe. No, there's no way that's right. And anyway,
but his picture on 247
what is this
Sports
photo?
That's got to be rugby. But it looks really funny.
Yeah,
look it up. It looks really funny. But yeah, I just wanted to look it up because I thought he was a higher recruit.
Carroll.
Yeah, I thought he was a higher recruit, but yeah, two-star recruit.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I trust Iowa in developing their tight ends. So yeah. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, obviously we talked about it before, but Ostrenga being gone definitely hurts. But
yes, not to underplay that major injury.
Yes,
that is probably the one of the biggest injuries we could have had all year, outside of maybe quarterback.
Yeah,
honestly, probably outside of quarterback. That's probably the biggest injury we could have had.
Because even Moulton being out, like we have other
or Jennings Dunker, I guess maybe it would be a huge injury too.
Yeah, one of the offensive lineman guys.
Yeah, so we play UMass Saturday. It's another night game.
Yep.
Why are all these random ass teams night games?
I don't know.
I guess that's CBS.
I don't even know.
Maybe CBS likes that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I like that. I don't know. I kind of complained last week about how I don't like 11. I know that is college football is 11 a.m. for Central Time. But
honestly, for a team like this, though, if I'm not going to the game, I like 11 because I don't care enough. I'd throw it on when I wake up.
Yeah.
And I can still pay attention because I'm not going to be like out at the bars, you know.
That's true, actually.
Because
I would rather this be like 6:30 against like.
Yeah.
Is Indiana? Do we know what time the Indiana game's at?
Indiana is TBD.
Gotcha. Well, even against Rutgers, it's 7 p.m.
But see, so here's my complaint. It's like Rutgers is 7 p.m. But like if I was playing, maybe Rutgers isn't the best example, but like a good Big Ten team, I can make the argument, be like, we got to go to a sports bar so we can watch the Iowa game. But like if they're playing fucking UMass, I can't pay attention to that game if I want to do something else, you know.
And I'm hoping that we're getting all these later ones out of the way. We'll have some more 2:30s.
But I want the night games to be the big games. Those are the ones I want to be the big games. Like I want Oregon and Penn State at Kinnick to be night games.
I mean, those can still be. I hope so.
Odds on the game, Iowa line is minus 35.5 at 104. Again, odds from FanDuel. And the over-under is 43.5. So they're projecting 1 touchdown by UMass.
I'm going to take the under.
It's a big line to overcome.
I'm taking the under.
Yeah. Just the way that they've looked, it hasn't looked great. And again, like I talked about, maybe the receivers and the quarterback both put it together this week. That's maybe just wishful thinking.
Yeah. I mean, UMass 0-2 already this year. They've lost to Temple and Bryant, so 2 teams that aren't very good. I mean, Temple might be okay.
Well, also, while I was looking at the odds for the over-under, so I just, to find the odds every week, the easiest thing to do is just but type into the FanDuel search Iowa. And so, like, I scrolled down, I found the odds for the game, and right below it is a stat that I cannot believe they're even offering, where Mark Gronowski has a Heisman odds, and they're plus 50,000. So
I'm smacking that.
if you want to put $10,000 on Gronowski to win the Heisman, you could win $5,000. I didn't even those are insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, do not do that.
I might put $1 on it.
Do that. That's a waste of $1. That's a waste of $1.
I think I've got a $4 free bet actually. Maybe I'll do that with it.
I bet you could find a better plus 50,000 than that. I bet you can.
I don't know if they offer another plus 50,000.
Because what? I would have to win out, and then
I don't think we'd have to win out because we'd only have to make the playoffs, and if we lose one Big Ten team or one Big Ten game, we could potentially make the Big Ten championship still.
I mean, he has won the Heisman of the FCS.
That's true. He could be the first to do both.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy, especially after losing to Iowa State 13-16.
After putting up 44 passing yards versus an FCS team.
The most absent 2 weeks of all time into the Heisman Award.
You know what?
Can you imagine up on the press box, you got Niall Kinnick and Mark Gronowski?
Hey, I still believe he can do it.
There is it's not
way,
impossible.
No, it is. There is a way that he could.
It's why there are odds.
Yeah,
it's not impossible.
It's not gonna happen.
It's extremely unlikely.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not. Yeah.
But maybe sprinkle a couple cents. I don't think $1's worth it.
You got an extra 98 cents laying around, you know. Well, in Illinois, if you bet $1, you're getting charged a 50-cent fee now. So
I know it's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't really bet much. I bet sometimes, but
I don't get why it's not a percentage. Why is it a flat fee whether I'm betting $1 or $100,000?
They just want their money.
Not to get into tax law and scaling incomes and. Anyway, yeah.
Back to how bad UMass is.
Anything you want to see out of this besides what we already talked about? The putting together the passing and the throwing?
I think what we said in the first,
I honestly want to see us not run the ball because I know we can.
Yeah,
so I don't
that's
need
a
to
good
see
point.
It.
I want to see us throw the ball.
I want to see Ferentz force some throws.
That's a great point. I want to see Gronowski throw 40 attempts.
Yeah. I don't care if he goes out there and he throws 3 picks because I think we can put the ball on the ground, put our heads down, and win the game anyway.
Yeah.
Let him go out there and sling a few. Let's see it.
Yes. That is actually a great point of years past with I think Ferentz, kind of going back to how Ferentz coaches, he'll never do that.
Yeah.
But why not? I don't get that. Why not?
Yeah.
Yes, you could, it's disrespectful for a team. Because I feel like that's what he would say. It's disrespectful
to the team.
But
That's why you
we're
pay
playing.
these teams $1 million to come to Iowa City, is to give them a little disrespect to see what your guys can do.
Yeah. Maybe they're going to go back to, I think they're on the MAC now. They're going to go back to MAC and, maybe, it helps them out.
Yeah, honestly.
And this isn't me, we're talking, I mean, again, this team's bad. 0-2 already. They went 2-10. They have whole new coaching staff. But what is it? I'm thinking about week 1. All my I have some Indiana buddies. They're talking this way about Old Dominion. They only beat them by 13 or something.
Yeah.
So I do want to show them a little respect.
Yeah.
But we
talked a lot of shit week 1 and it wasn't.
They didn't look great.
It was a blowout in the second half.
It was. And I always feel I do think that Iowa has a good enough rushing that yes.
I know we can run the ball.
They
so
will,
I want to see us throw
literally
the ball.
If they could be down 21-0 throwing 5 interceptions in the first half.
Yeah.
And all they have to do is run it
unconfident.
every single play.
Mm-hmm.
They would win.
And I even get if you go out there and you throw 2 picks, if you want to just put your nose down for a drive and open up your passing game a little more, be show them we're going to run the ball if we can't throw it, but just throw the goddamn football.
Yeah.
Let's see it happen.
Yes.
You keep saying
Also,
Gronowski can hit his passes if he's not nervous. You keep saying that the wide receiver is going to come into their form, so let's see it.
Well, what did Kirk? I actually had a quote in here I forgot about that. Kirk said about Gronowski in the passing. He said, "I think we're learning about him, and he's learning about us. It's a matter of him getting more comfortable and us doing a better job of that."
Which I get. He didn't play fall ball or spring ball. He hardly played over the summer.
But it seems like a consistent thing, like the
It
same
does.
thing with McNamara.
It was the same thing he said about McNamara.
But yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think that is the number one thing to look for in the game. And I don't really think it's going to happen. I do think they'll throw the ball more. I think if he didn't cramp up in week 1,
They might have thrown it more.
I think they would have probably thrown, once they had, a comfortable lead again, I think they would have, started throwing the ball again.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot else.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pessimistic
Yeah.
about the rest of the season after
I just want to get to the Indiana game.
I will say a little bit embarrassing, but preseason, right? Preseason odds came out, over-unders on the teams, and Iowa and Iowa State both of them at 7.5. And I always take Iowa over 7.5 because it's that every year, and we normally pull out 8. Like, it's pretty consistent. Even if I lose it this year, I'm still going to be way plus money on that in the long run. I guess somehow I accidentally did Iowa State over 7.5 on accident because I just, like I said, I just searched Iowa and I must have just clicked the first one.
Oh no! You
so
put
I
money
have
on
$10 on
State.
Iowa State over 7.5. I also then went in and I fixed it. I put 20 on Iowa to make up for it.
To make up for it.
But I think I'm gonna make the Iowa State one. That looks like it's gonna hit unless that Big 12 just rolls them.
That's a hard one, but it's a hard one to take.
You
yeah.
can't. I can't cash it out. I genuinely would have cashed it out if it was an option, but it's not an option.
Yeah.
If they offered me a $5 cash out, I would take that. That's how much of a fan I am. That's how much of an idiot I am. That's like at this point in the season, that's free money. That bet.
I think
you
gave one out. I'll give one out. An embarrassing one I did. I was like a little drunk and just so pissed off. Was the Iowa championship game against Michigan.
Michigan, yeah.
The second half, I put Iowa not to score.
Yeah.
I was just pissed off.
Didn't we watch that at the Reveler?
Yes. Yes, we did. I remember I was so just like pissed off and so just like annoyed. I was just like, you know what, like they're not gonna score. I might as well like put money on it, which I never like that's I think the one time I've put money against Iowa.
Yeah. No,
I mean it is the only time I've put money against Iowa. And that was just me being a little drunk and just me being so distraught.
Because we were sitting in like you walk in the front door and you go to like the right. We were sitting in that front area. And they had like the pool table covered up, so we were all kind of like sitting around the pool table. And one of the people came out from the back, and they had a pizza. And there was, because Cassidy was there with us, and like he looked at us, and he was like, "Hey, we like made this pizza, and we'll give it to you guys half off if you want it." And we were like, "Hell yeah,
yes,
we're
easy.
starving." And he puts the pizza on the pool table, and he looks at me, and he goes, "At least something went right today."
Oh. You gotta find some happiness within the struggles.
Yeah, no, that game was brutal.
Yeah, but that is
pizza was good.
Yeah. No. I've been to 3 championship games there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think 2 of them were women's basketball, but still, like.
Yeah, I watched the women's basketball one at Merkel's, I think.
We watched the semifinals at Merkel's.
We watched the semifinals at Merkel's. That must have been what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Because that was the one where there was a line to get into Merkel's. First time I've ever seen it.
It was against UConn. I did not think they were winning that game.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It was UConn. Yeah.
Yeah, because my friends were in line and like they were like at capacity, and I told the bartender, I was like, "Hey, we might need to close our tabs because we might go to a different bar." And he was like, "Oh, just send him around the back. I'll let him in the back door." Because like I'd gotten there really early, so I was like sitting at the bar and drinking with him all day and like chatting with him. And I was like, "Hey, I think we might go to a different bar because like they're at capacity." And he's like, "I'll let him in the back."
That's nice.
I guess we'll be back next week.
Yeah,
hopefully it's not
feeling
another. If I'm going to be honest, if we lose, we might not be back next week.
No, if they lose to UMass, I can guarantee you I'm not talking about it.
Yeah, it might be. This might be it for the season. We might pick this back up in basketball season.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, I'm Drew. That's Jeremy. Everything will be in the link dump. We'll have links to our socials. We'll get our social medias created and get those up to date.
Because we have a name now.
Try to get some clips out. Yeah, we do have a name now. This is Hawks Off Melrose. And yeah, look for us on social media. Tell your friends now that you can tell
Actually
them
look
what
us
to
up.
actually look for.
I'm going to shout out my buddy Grant because he did ask me what our name was. And I tell him we didn't have one yet. And he's like, oh, okay, well, let me know when you have one and I'll search it.
When we were watching the Iowa State game, I was talking about the podcast and they were like, oh, like, what's the name of the podcast? And I was like, okay, well, there's actually isn't one right now, but.
Okay, well, we'll see you next week.
We will be back.
Hopefully we are in a lot better of a mood, even though it's against UMass and there can't be that much. Like, I want a 70-0 win.
I would love to do that. Let's see it, Kirk.
Yep. All right. See you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.